Okay, welcome back. We're still working on the Volkswagen. I wanted to show you this. This is dated 3/15, and we bought a gallon of 270 and a quart of 277 Omni medium catalyst. And you can see the tax on there, and you can see the amount on there that I paid. Now you can combine this with, after I went in there and was disgusted I had to pay that, I went in there with a sales tax ID, of course, because I have one for my business, and you know, I buy and sell auto parts and such like that, so this is perfectly legitimate. And so my taxes now on this are this, and they gave me a better deal on it. As far as that, I did buy some paper there, and I did buy a tack rag here. I should have got another tack rag, but anyways, you can see the difference in price. So if you have a business, go ahead and set it up, man, with your tax-free, and you'll save a lot of money. This is the difference between this and this is $47 for a gallon of clear and a quart of catalyst. So, you know, I only need 3 quarts of material, but I ended up having to buy a gallon because you can't buy quarts of this stuff anymore. But yeah, check things out, and if you can, use your status as tax-free. It'll help you, and as a business, it'll give you even if you're not tax-free, if you set yourself up as your business and buy stuff from them, you know, I mean, I didn't necessarily buy anything special, and saved a lot of money. $10 on the hardener, and what, 105 to 124, about $19 on the clear, plus tax I saved. All right, back to the car. The compressor I had working on this was shooting gobs of oil out of the hose, I noticed, and the water trap was full of oil. So it's reaching maximum velocity is what it is. It's reaching the end of its usefulness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, because this motor is sketchy, I can't use it because there's fire still shooting out of it. So I haven't fixed that with our Franken compressor yet. So haven't done that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I took my moisture separator, my water separator off my sandblast booth. Yeah, put that down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, because this is only 10 gallons, this is 8 gallons, so I'll have 18 gallons. You want a little bit more than 10 gallons, so if I use this, the big tank, if the air goes in here, we have kind of a water separator right here, because the water will want to go down, and then as it comes out, I have a water separator here too, so double action there. If I just put it one there, I only have one water separator, and then because I have a hose going in from this compressor to this compressor, anything is coming out of this, but this is relatively new, so it's not, you know, the rings haven't gone in it, and it's not spraying oil in the hose. So I can patch these all together. Show you in a minute. Put the cardboard on it because it's a little noisy. We'll see if it comes up and stops. Also, I do have a longer hose now than I had before, and it's not full of mud. Grease, that is. It did indeed shut itself off. We did have a couple of small leaks here at these hoses, but I blame those on the connections. They are not Milton connections. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of leak there, but what are you going to do? I did buy this at Harbor Freight. It has proved to be a pretty good compressor, but what I did is after 5 cycles, I drained the oil that came with it, and I put some quality oil in it that's probably saved its life. Good little compressor, actually. Don't buy one of these compressors that's oilless, because they are worthless. Just remember that. Oil less, worth less, and you'll get it. All right. We're in the Shangri-La now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do the 400, and then I'm going to follow that up with the 600. So this is it. I'm not doing any more body work. I'm not fixing any more dents or furuncles or problems or what like that. You know, I mean, it's going to be what it is what it is, and that's it. So, okay. I'll see you in about 6 hours. Ha! It's my suggestion that when you sand your car with a 400 and a 600, that you wet sand. Because what will happen is your paper will clog up in about 4 swipes if you dry sand. You can dry sand, but you're going to go through a lot of paper. If you clean your paper, you can do the whole car with one of those little packs from 6 pieces in it of 400. What you want to do, probably can't see this, I got a little bit of peel left in that, and you want to take that down. Of course, you want to take all the rough edges off and stuff, but you're going to get down to where you have peel, and you're going to want to try to take that orange peel off there, at least 80% of it, and you'll be able to feel it. And then when you go over with your 600, you want all the peel off. Now, you can go through in spots like that right there, but don't go through to the metal, because if you go through to the metal, then you'll have a rust problem, and you don't want that. Again, this is tedious. It takes a lot of time. So, but if you do it 400 and then 600, your paint job will come out so much better. It's the whole idea of painting a car, not knowing how to paint a car, like me, is you have to take all the gremlins out of it, okay? So you have to have a good compressor. You have to have good product, so you're using good paint. You have to have a reasonable facility. You have to have the car prepared properly, such as this. And then what talent you have, you try to improve on painting the stuff that you can't see first. So you get to know your gun, you get to know how your paint goes on, that kind of stuff. So if you lay out every one of these things, like my compressor is shooting boogers, you know, grease boogers right now. You can't have that in paint. You got to mix your paint properly. You got to have a good product. Good product is expensive. You have to put the effort into it. So if you take all these factors, all these gremlins away, your paint job will improve more and more and more and more. Because any old fool can paint a car with a roller, you know? So, and have a coating on it. All right. Get done with this, and then I'll go to 600. Okay, I've finished wet sanding with 600, but I'm probably going to do it again because there's some spots that I can see. Ooh, the sun's coming out. There is some overspray like this, and what we can do is we can hit that with 1500, and it'll come right off because the clear was on there first, along with that blue, that little bit of blue there too, and got a little bit there. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape this white all back up again, and we're going to leave about this far with about 3 pieces of tape on it that are going to be easy to take off. So after we base coat this, and we're ready to clear, we can peel this tape off, and it will expose this line right here. See this line, and it's got an edge. And what we'll do is, of course, we'll lightly sand this 3 fingers with 600, and then or even 1500, probably 1500, and then we spray our clear over it. It connects this to this. Will there be a tape line down here? Yeah, but it won't be so noticeable, and you'll be able to cut it with 1500, and so it'll have a smooth transition. Yes, there's a molding over the top of it, I understand that, but with that transition overlapping, there will be no peelage when you hit it with the pressure washer. See, because there's a barrier there. You can't get either way because the clear is protecting you. Aha! So let's get that done. Now I'm going to sand this down about 2 inches, 3 inches. I got to get that tape out of there. Just give it a little scuff so the new clear sticks to it. 2 or 3 inches. Remember, I'm going to have this cut and buffed anyways. So 2 or 3 inches just to scuff up that clear. And I'm going to tape off my white, and then I'm going to have like maybe 3 pieces of tape. And so after I get my color on, I'll pull that tape off, and then I can shoot my clear, and my clear will overlap from the color I just laid onto the clear here, sealing this line so it won't peel and chip. Alright, it doesn't look like I cleaned up in here, but I did. I kind of washed my walls down, took a wet towel, and went over things, and I swept the floor the best I could. I blew it out. I blew the car off. I dusted the car while I was blowing it with a broom, a little hand broom. I've uncovered my white, of course, and I've sanded this just a little bit. And of course, we're not going to handle any of the paint work with our hands. We're going to use gloves, but I can't tape with gloves on. So, of course, I have this. This is going to be covered with paper from there down, and then I'm going to leave about 2 or 3 rows of tape that I can pull up after I get my color on. I'll pull that tape up after it dries a little bit, because I'm going to shoot my color tonight, and it's almost nice enough in here to shoot color right now. It was too hot, and it would have really peeled on me. So I'm waiting until about 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to shoot my color, and then I have 24 hours to clear before all the solvent is gone. And so I'm going to clear at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that ought to be just about right. I can't stress how you can't get it clean enough in here. You're still going to have crap stuck to your paint, but you can minimize it. Okay, so let's finish taping. And a body shop guy, painter, told me if you spray this with a little sprayway and with a paper towel and wipe it down, your tape will stick really well. And also you can wet a paper towel, dampen it, and wipe the whole car with that also. But you have to let the sprayway, of course, dry thoroughly, because the alcohol and the glass cleaner and the solvents don't play well together. So you want to make sure that's there. I brushed around my glass really good to get any loose debris, because as soon as I spray up there, all that debris is going to come flying out onto my paint. So anyways, I fidgeted around a little bit more with my hood and made it fit better. I drilled out the hole for the emblem, and for the I had filled that in. The emblem is just drilled into the mud, and that's the way it's going to be, and I'm just going to have to glue that emblem on there. I did not go through, didn't go to the metal, and because I don't want a rust issue. So I plan on, you know, of course, getting paint in that and then sealing it with some glue that I glue my emblem on. It's not the right emblem anyway, so you know. You know, this hood's in sad shape. Somebody had beat it down. I beat it down in the center, and they did. The end stuck up, and I had to adjust the, you know, do some serious monkey into my hinges. So, all right, let's get this taped up, and hopefully we can get some color on it tonight. What do you think? Are they close? Spider. I don't have any clear on that, of course. I'm going to do that tomorrow since the sun's setting and we're losing temperature. It's about 50 right now, probably 65 in there. So that's on the outs for shooting clear. If it was 4 o'clock, and it's not, it's 6, I could shoot clear. But I'm going to just let that set, and I'll do it in the morning. Again, you have 24 hours. So let me tell you some things here about when you're shooting. This here, there's a reason why you can move this. It's because it's directional. Of course, it's not going to move right now for me because I'm trying to show you. There you go. Sorry, I had to do a karate call in order to take and get it to turn. You can leave this just not real tight, and you can turn this because the car. This is for your spray pattern going this way, and this is for your spray pattern going this way. And because the car is full of turns and you know, you're going this way and then you're going this way, and then you can turn that and adjust it. So use that to your benefit. Also, when you're shooting, there's 2 stages. When you pull this, air comes out, and it does that for a reason. If you get too much on there, you can stop the load by letting up on it a little bit and just spray air on it. And you can get up underneath it and dry it out, especially your base coat. Can't necessarily do that with clear because base goes on pretty dry, but you don't want any runs in your base coat, so you can get up underneath it and dry that out. Get that to satin up before she starts running. See, so there's a couple of tricks for you right there. Before I prepped, of course, I washed and everything like that, but I swear to you, hairs, pieces of chunks, and you just wouldn't believe. And the best way really is to do your body work in one place and paint your car in the other. But I don't really have a choice, so it is what it is. Also, if I had thought about it, but I really didn't want it too humid in there, too wet, you can wet the floor down, and that really helps a whole lot too. Another old trick here is I didn't have enough paint. Okay, so you know, I shot my interior right and jammed my doors and stuff, but that's pretty close, isn't it? Now you get some clear on that, you'll never know. So the outside of my car is a different color than the inside, because what I did is I mixed up some dribs and drabs more that I had, some white and stuff, and stretched it out, got myself about another quart of material, and then I took my quart of material and I mixed it with my 2 quarts of I already have, so I have 3 quarts. And incidentally, all I have left is about a half a quart. So had I not done that, I would be jonesing for some blue base coat. And since I also have some left over, and the white left over too, in the event that I get into a fender bender or whatever, or I need another fender or something, I've got paint that matches. Don't try to make your base coat wet. Just satin it up. And do you clean your gun out when you get done? Oh no sir, you do not, because you're going to miss spots like this, and you don't want to miss any spots. And I'm going to want to hit this up here just a little bit, just a tick. See, and you get the hairs and the stuff like that. But yeah, what are you going to do? So we're looking for missing spots, and I'll go over this car and look for missing spots. I have a ladder here to climb up on for the roof. I have the car all the way down, and since you have this all the way down, it's like it's difficult to paint at the bottom. One thing I noticed is when I sanded with 600, as per the guys in the body shop, wet sanded. I've never wet sanded with 600. I've always used 400 and then went with my base coat. But they went 600, and it was very slick, and it was very prone to running. But there isn't any sand scratches. That's pretty cool. Right, missed a little spot right there. That'll be covered by the Pope's nose, though. Well, Pope's nose. And there's no Pope's nose in this car. Uh-oh, look at that. You know what happened there, don't you? That's where the hose rubbed. Okay, well, you know, we can touch all those spots up again. And like I said, you got 24 hours to clear this, so we're going to clear this tomorrow morning. About 10 o'clock in the morning, the sun will be coming up. It'll start getting warm in here. I'll be able to put the fan up and ventilate the place and clear it. So 2 medium coats of clear, and then I'm going to have a guy rub it for me. And incidentally, there's several aspects to a body shop. You know, there's leadership, and there's communication, and there's management, and then there's good metal men and good painters. But one of the most important things a body shop can have, or a paint shop can have, is a finish sander. Someone who cuts and buffs and is good at it, because they will make or break your business. You can take a car full of runs and problems and cut them all out and buff that and make it look nice. You truly can. So I don't do that. I'm going to have Danny do that for me because he's a master at it, and I am nowhere clear of his ability, especially with all these curves. You get around these curves and these angles and stuff, you can burn your paint real quick, and then you're at zero. So I'd rather pay somebody who's a professional to cut and buff this when I get it done. All right, I've been yakking enough. All right, we'll clear this tomorrow. So in the magic of 1 second, I'll be clearing, but it'll be tomorrow. Okay, here comes the slippery slope. We try to take all the gremlins out of it. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. It was 35, now it's 48, so it's coming on quickly. Inside, it's almost 70. If the cloud cover breaks, and which can be in 20 minutes, it'll be 90 in there in a hot sun, and you won't be able to paint. Must make hay when you can. What's that adage? Make hay when the sun shines? Yeah, that's it. Gremlins. See this mess? Clean it up. Last thing you want to do is bring that extension cord in there with you. All these little things. Drain your water separator. Drain your compressor. Okay, the parts we're painting outside are subject to bird poop, so we just hope that's not going to happen. Do you have your stands for the little part? Do you know where it's going to set? Yes, yes, okay. Got to go through these checklists. Where you're going to paint, up underneath there, get yourself a wet towel, so when you're blowing it up there like that, you don't have all the dust and stuff blowing up there too. Along with around your fenders, wet towels around the back. We've pulled our tape, okay, and we're about as neat as we can go. I'm going to leave that. Chrome will cover it, you won't see it. We're checking over the body and making sure we have all our blue on here. Once you clear it, it's too late, Roy, okay? You got any little bugs, crap in the paint you want to pick off? Hairs? Okay, looks okay. I've got 2 runs on the other side, but they're from the white base coat. One was here that I tried to fix. Can't barely see it. It'll show up a little bit in the clear. One is there, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, there is. I can sand it all over and start all over again, but I'm not going to. Got a little bit of time. We're going to set up the fan, mix our clear, and start shooting this. Okay. Check, 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 and check. Let's get clearing. Now, because I measured them out in Dixie cups, I had 8 Dixie cups left in the clear and 2 Dixie cups left in the hardener. Perfectly, exactly. So if you do it that way, you'll have exactly enough hardener for exactly enough clear. About clear, of course we're going to use a funnel to funnel out all the big chunks. When you lay your clear on, okay, remember that that base coat is slick, and that clear is going to want to fall off of it, okay? So you don't necessarily have to sheen that clear up, okay? Just put it on with some peel in it, and we're going to let that set for about 20 minutes or something like that afterwards. And then we're going to go over and give it another coat. And see, that way you'll have something to adhere to, and it'll be slightly easier to sheen it up, and you won't have runs. So we're going to put 2, what I say is medium coats on the car, and it's probably going to take 3 quarts. Maybe 2 quarts. So, yeah, mix it thoroughly. Gotta let it pop for about 10 minutes. Spray gun. My spray gun's inside, so it's not, I'm not spraying with a spray gun that's 40 degrees, has been sitting on the porch. You know, there's a lot of little things you can do to help things. Like I said before, none of the paint likes cold, so you want at least 60 degrees. Okay. Don't worry if you got a little orange peel in that first coat. Okay, you're going to let that tack up a little bit, and that'll let you let something adhere to your clear, and you won't have so many runs. You can wet sand all that orange peel out of there if there's peel, or color sand it. But we're not going to have a lot. I'm just getting a texture so I can lay down the final coat. 2 medium coats, what you want. Good gravy, is that pretty? Look at that. Got some dirt and trash in it. I've got one run in my clear. Where's it at? Oh, it's on the other side. It's like a drip. But that's not too bad. Yeah, that'll wheel right out of there. I think I heard John Candy say that one time. That'll buff right out of there. So, a lot of peel there, but I got a lot of clear on it, so it ought to buff pretty good. Still really green. Well, let me tell you this. I sure am glad I'm done. Because, man, I'm done. It's a lot of work doing that, you know. I'm glad I don't do that for a living. So, here's our, check out our clear line. I tell you what, let's not. Let's see how terrible it is. Yeah. Yeah, see our clear line right there? But that's okay. I can hit that with a buffer, or hit that with and it'll be fine. And that way it's sealed. It sealed up that line. So if you hit it with a, there's a little, glad they make it touch up. Let's see what else here. Little spot back there. That don't look too bad. That won't look too bad. Not from a distance. Well, yeah, I'm so glad it's done. Man, it's just, it's, I tell you, it's a labor of love, I guess. That's a nice color, though. I like that. That's quite a contrast, eh? It's nice. I like that. That's going to look nice. Well, if anybody wants to give me about $3,000 for interior parts and incidentals that I need to put this thing back together, feel free to send them to me. Feel free to send it to me. I accept PayPal. Hey, all right. I'm going to go and get this one on the net. Let you guys have a look at this. And I'll call up Danny and a couple of days he'll come over and work his magic on this, get rid of all that orange peel and make it really shine. Like I said, that's the talent. It's the buffing guys, if I can afford it. Okay, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. We'll start doing what's necessary so we can make the two halves back together, and I can finally get rid of this mess in my backyard. Oh, hallelujah. I bet you the grass will like it too. Alright, see you on the next one. See you guys. Bye.